Well, we're here at the Manx Museum. Queeriosity, Queeriosity, got to get it exactly right, is the name of this small exhibition that's going on, and the big launch is going on at the moment. So I thought, let's talk to two people who have had a very large part in queerness. It's such a weird to use that word now in a sort of positive way, isn't it? For years it was like a really bad word. It's been called back. I mean, this is interesting, isn't it, to get this sort of stage where we can have things going on like this?
Yeah, I think it's very impressive that younger people in particular now on the island feel free enough to actually come out to celebrate their history over here, and maybe to reflect on some of the problems we've had over the years, to how we got here in the first place. So I think it's a really good move on young Peter's part to put it together.
We've said many times, the world's rotated like 180 degrees on everything like this, isn't it?
Yeah, everything has changed a lot, and the Allan obviously has come a very long way, but I've said in the past now that the one thing we've got to be very careful about these days is not to assume because we've got all this freedom and rights now that they're here permanently. And if you just take one look today as to what happened in America,
you're right.
We have got to be very much alert to the possibility that these freedoms we enjoy now could be taken away just as much. So it is really important to have events like this to reflect on the fight we had over the years, and it's 30 years this year, as you know, that decriminalisation took place. The battle we had to get here, that we don't, through neglect, lose it again.
That word of warning, always never accept everything is going to be the same.
Absolutely.
Alan Shea's better half. Alan's down with COVID.
Alan's down with COVID, unfortunately. Yes, he's very sad not to be
now
today.
We have charted things with him over the years, and obviously that old CNN footage is just dynamite. Can you imagine? Never seen that. And going, I mean, you would be on the hill, wouldn't you? Yes, you would have missed that.
Well, I had a different perspective on it, but I remember it well. Yeah, very well.
Can you imagine where we are today?
I never thought we would be where we are today, where we're in the National Museum of the Isle of Man celebrating queerness. And what's great is I look around and I see the different age groups. It really is pleasing for me to see that. Young people, old people, we're all here together, families. It's just so nice to see everybody so accepting now. But as Alan says, it can't be taken for granted. We've got a very supportive Tynwald when the law was changed. We've still got a supportive Tynwald. But who knows what will happen in the future?
Well, Alan, of course, and that outfit he wore has been, taken into the National Archives. It's a treasure trove now. Isn't that incredible?
Yes, it was never thought that when we did that...
It's the Marks and Spencer's pyjamas,
It was Marks and Spencer's pyjamas. A friend of ours, Tony Barfoot, was busily colouring the stripes in. I can remember that. And we just never thought it would end up in the museum. Never. It was astounding.
I have to remember the outrage it caused, though, when it first appeared.
And that was the thing, the CNN footage really got it, didn't it? People were... it's just an incredible thing, what was going on there.
Yeah.
I can always remember, it always amuses me, was a man called Johnny Gelling, I think. Remember Johnny?
Oh, yes.
With his big hat and glasses, and the boys from Outrage were saying to him once, "This is love." And Johnny said... He said, "It's not love at all, you're nothing but boom blasters."
Alan just put on Facebook the other day a petition to remove him from the Isle of Man. I'd never seen that before. I mean, it must be quite hurtful at the time to read things like that.
Well, after the demonstration on Tynwald Day and Alan presenting his petition, there was death threats against Alan, believe it or not. And I think the constabulary did take these death threats seriously, and Alan left the island that next day to get some downtime from the pressure pot of doing the presenting the petition and the demonstration of outrage. It was a pressure pot for us at that time. It shouldn't be underestimated, the pressure that everybody was under at that time.
Including politicians who had to keep their lifestyle quite under wraps.
Yes. Well, I was just saying to Stephen, it's not really come out in public, but there were other activities going on around about that time, which led the police to actually investigate my background.
You were under investigation?
For a short period of time, yes, which
And this was just bullying
very
tactics,
difficult.
wasn't it? This was just sort of don't rock the boat, keep things quiet. Wasn't it? Don't ask, don't tell.
And an element of that was actually stirred up by one or two of my fellow members of the House of Keys as well at the time. So
Almost like blackmail, almost. Would you say? In that way.
Quite a vindictive, vicious atmosphere in the House of Keys as well as out in public.
Yeah. Well, we've got 30 years of all that, and it can't be long before Alan gets his knighthood, I'm sure. Oh, you've got yours yet? Another Alan. I'm sure they're meant to get them when they go out of office.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Anyway, it's good to be here, and I say, good to be queer, right?
It's good to be queer, yes.